5.
Let's see what other colleagues think about it. So we've heard Sunil said 5.
You're right, it's 5. I mean, you're right in terms of what you're saying, but I'll go with mark of 5.
I would say 5 as well. First, because the laughter is the behavior, and then explore the behavior, and then go to 2. So what is that emotion with the explanation?
I would go with 3 actually. So for me, I thought behavior would be like, if you're not taking action or you're just standing still, then that's a behavior you may want to question. For me, a laughter is more an emotion.
Interesting. For me, laughter is, I always associate that with actually marker number 4. Just to throw in another one in there.
Share my thoughts. I thought this was a very different conversation. And let me explain what I mean with this. Because we, at least in our supervised sessions, what we are trying is when the client brings a topic, we're trying to chunk it up, right? If we get something, it's an iceberg, we try and chunk it up and get awareness. Here, I thought the awareness was brought by, you get the topic, break it into smaller pieces, put it down the funnel, and then bring the awareness.
Marker number 6 from active listening, how the client perceives his, her world in a question, in an example like, how is this belief serving you or served you so far? Just for the client to see the contrast mentioned earlier by Raluca.
So, we've already spoken about the client's use of language, but I think it also relates to marker 6 in powerful asking. That there had been more picking up more of the, what do you mean by good? What do you mean by freedom? What kind of good is that? Good, all of those things would have hit marker 6 on powerful asking.
To answer your question just now, how does it sound if, let's say, we at what I just mentioned at that point, if we can bullet and reflect back to the client and say that, I see that you are contemplating between 2 options for your career, and number 2, you are experiencing some internal tension with these 2 options.
Okay, so you wanted to point out the things, yeah?
Yeah, so basically bullet everything that she said into 2 points. We can question on the thinking. What is it that the client is really thinking and seeking for in terms of an answer?
What about the frame of reference in powerful questioning?
Beautiful, Shanta. Yeah, I'm wondering whether it's rather that one, or is it, because we were speaking about that for those who were there this morning, right? About,
yes.
So Ben had mentioned that number 6 about active listening is about how the client is seeing the situation. And number 6 in powerful questioning, how the client is thinking around the situation or how the client is processing.
So we spoke about that before, it's the behavior in the conversation. Any thoughts around that or anything, Arvind, share with us?
Yeah, so if you look at the client's behavior, he's bobbing around, right? With every subject, right? Whether you look at every point, the client is just bobbing around. So with regard to that competency, I noticed the coach made a very intentional attempt to get him box the issue, get the client to very clearly have a focus, get that boxed piece out of the way.
Yeah, and I think it's going beyond the obvious, right? What is different? Which means we already know that you're curious, right? That's but how is that different? And that helps the client to go on a different level. Okay, well, I'm already doing this. What else could be different? You have to go deeper, I think.